Hello. Good morning.
Right now, 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 right now. Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We gotta add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been getting bigger. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto, guys. Today we have an extremely important thing that we need to talk about because, as you saw in today's thumbnail and title, Elon Musk has essentially just confirmed that he has bought Twitter. In fact, as you can see over here on my screen, Elon Musk just updated his Twitter bio itself and changed whatever was here before to Chief Twit, and he is located at Twitter headquarters. But 52 minutes ago at 9:08 Eastern Standard Time, he posted this: "Dear Twitter advertisers." We're going to be breaking down what this means today. And also, if you didn't see the video, we've got to show you this video of Elon Musk strutting into Twitter headquarters with a literal sink. The dude walked into Twitter HQ with a sink, like a bathroom sink, and said, "Let that sink in." Probably one of the most alpha moves that you could possibly do in business after closing a $44 billion deal. If you didn't know, Twitter was set to be acquired by Friday, which is tomorrow, under court order, and Elon Musk believes that he can turn Twitter into something called the Everything app, where everything that we do happens on that one single app. So we're going to be talking about that and whether that is possible and what that's going to look like today and the impact that that will have on the Bitcoin market. Obviously, when this occurred, it sent Dogecoin flying. Let me just go ahead and pull up CoinMarketCap here because Dogecoin... Actually, you know what? Let's pull up TradingView, because Dogecoin apparently went through a pretty massive run after Elon Musk solidified this deal and went through with his strut into Twitter headquarters this morning. Take a look over the last couple of days as this has been getting closer. You can see Dogecoin rallied. Let me just go ahead and turn Chart Prime off here. Some great indicators there. You can see that Dogecoin rallied from 6 cents all the way up to 7.6 cents over just the last couple of days. It has rallied that much, and by that much we mean, of course, 30% in just 2 days. Absolutely crazy parabolic movement, and we are very excited for all of the Dogecoin community out there. However, I will say, I'm not an investor in Dogecoin, and I probably never will be. But you might be wondering, Jebb, where are you? I am in a new set that we are currently working on developing. This black curtain behind me is temporary. You guys told me in chat that you wanted it back, and it is coming. If you remember the wood wall from many, many moons ago, many sets ago, we've had like 5 or 6 sets in the history of this channel. If you remember the wood wall, coming back. Stay tuned. To be continued. Dun 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 dun. Whatever you want to. The point is, it's coming. So make sure you stay tuned. We got a really cool set that's going to be built up in here. This is temporary, and I already think it looks awesome. So if you want to see more pictures of what the set looks like, you can check out my Twitter. But let's go ahead and read some chat. Appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Thank you so very much for that. Let's go ahead and read some chat. We got Sean Burns Jr. was first. So shout out to you for being first. Chris Moe said woot and was second. We also got, let's see, we got Justin Eubanks in chat. First green name. Crypto Ben Franklin in chat. Justin Eubanks in chat again. Mitch Shaw in chat. Grand Roofing Incorporated, who just jumped through the roof of his truck. When I said hello into the microphone, apparently he thought somebody was in his truck. Sorry about that, man. I was just messing with you guys. Gia S in chat. Win People's in chat. Let's see. We got Mike Lowry in here. Gia S, Mitch Shaw, Veronica Gainey, Crypto JMP, Mike Lowry, Crypto Smitty, Brad Geidel. Boom. Boom. And by we, I'm talking about myself, my wife, and one of our employees that is going to be sticking around. A really just amazing guy. His name's Malachi. I have a son named Malachi, and we also have an employee named Malachi. He was in yesterday and helped set up this entire office, helped clear it all out. There's a bunch of stuff. Where I'm sitting right now was essentially a storage room. So we cleared all of that out, built an entire set in about 4 hours, and set up all of the technicals of it, and very excited, very excited. I got it all set up. It's a little bit weird. Need a different desk in here, but if I zoom this out, then you'd be able to see, but I'd have to get up and touch the camera. So nevertheless, we got a great show lined up, guys. A lot of changes happening all over the world. Of course, we got Elon Musk coming out, and he actually bought Twitter, it seems, is what has occurred. But that's not the only piece of news that we have today, and that's not the only thing that we're going to talk about today, because there was a very special piece of a very special release that kind of got overshadowed by Elon Musk, pretty much confirming that he has bought Twitter. He hasn't technically come out and said, Twitter deal confirmed. I mean, he probably doesn't want the SEC breathing down his neck again until he's absolutely certain, I suppose. You know, we don't need another round of funding secured. But no, it seems like it's actually gone through, especially in this article here, in this post. You can see, I want to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. How much more blatant can you get than that? There's been much speculation about why I bought Twitter and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong. He's talking in past tense, meaning that it has actually gone through. Going to talk about that, but also don't forget we have other things to discuss having to do with crypto and the broader financial markets. This piece of news got overshadowed this morning. This came out this morning, an hour and a half ago, and then exactly 38 minutes later, Elon Musk posted this. But we don't want to forget about this news either, because this is extremely, extremely important. Gross domestic product, third quarter 2020, the advanced estimate just came back, and it's positive at 2.6%. Wonderful news. That means that the U.S. economy is allegedly starting to grow again. At least that's what the claim is. You can see it sitting right here. That chart doesn't give you a lot of information, but you can see right here, and I was looking at this morning, annual rate of 2.6% came back in the third quarter of 2022, indicating that if we were in a GDP-based recession, then that GDP-based recession is now over. Meaning essentially that a lot of the things that were leading towards downturns in markets, such as this fear of, oh, are we in a recession? Are we not? Those should start to be assuaged. One of the big pieces of FUD that we've been seeing right now comes from three big metrics, and we're going to talk about these today also. We have U.S. GDP growth, which we can see right here, finally just came back positive. But then we also have the effective federal funds rate, which is currently, as you can see, sitting at 3.08%. It's in a range between 3 and 3.25, but you can call it 3.08 is essentially what it's observed as right now. We're expecting another 75 basis point rate hike, and then we also have CPI that traded sideways, or moved sideways, I suppose, at 8.2%. Over the last several days, over the last several months that has been reported. So these are the big three numbers that we're looking at from a traditional financial standpoint. We're looking at gross domestic product, we're looking at effective federal funds rate, and we're looking at CPI. One of those pieces of data, the GDP, just flipped bullish. So essentially, we had a clean sweep. All three of them were bearish in that we were continuing to see increasing effective federal funds rate increases, whereas we were seeing, also seeing GDP being negative, and we were also seeing CPI, that being inflation, continuing to stay high. That has now seemingly started to backtrack and turn around. Now, what I will tell you is that gross domestic product is a bit of a skewed statistic. Gross domestic product here has one fatal flaw, and that is that it's measured over U.S. dollars. So you mean to tell me that we have 2.6% growth in the economy in the last 12 months at an annual rate? You can see that this is third quarter GDP, but it's annualized at an annual rate of 2.6% GDP growth. But at the same time, we're looking at CPI data that's telling us in the last year, that being year-over-year data, we saw the value of the U.S. dollar across all major categories of consumer goods in the United States. The U.S. dollar lost 8.2% of its value, or at least everything got 8.2% more expensive. So actually, you'd have to run the math and see how much the U.S. dollar lost. But the point is, 2.6% growth, 8.2% loss. Well, what gives? You still come up with a negative. And that's kind of what I've been talking about for a long time here, guys. Whenever you see GDP growth coming back really high like we were seeing in 2020 and especially in 2021, just take a look at the chart here. You can see we saw pretty significant GDP growth between 6, 8, 10% here in Q1, Q2, and then Q4. And then Q3 of 2021 wasn't great. That was when, Bitcoin tumbled over for one. But the problem is that when you're seeing GDP growth to that scale, but you're also seeing CPI numbers come back like that, then while nominally it looks like we just saw the economy grow 2.6%, we really didn't. We really lost GDP as far as I'm concerned, because if you're going to see 8% growth, 8% inflation, but you're only seeing 2.6% growth in the economy, then doesn't that mean that the economy actually shrunk? And the only reason that it looks like it grew is because the currency that is underpinning the valuation of the economy, measured in gross domestic product, lost its value. So the economy looked like it grew, but it actually lost value. That's the issue. It's the same issue in housing. It's the same issue in student loans. It's the same issue in wages. You see, we saw the number for wages go up, 4 or 5% year over year, but you see inflation that almost hit 10%. You're losing money. The number that you're getting paid may be going up, but the amount of money that you're actually making based on the spending power would be the technical term, you're actually ending up losing spending power if you are having 5% growth in your wages, but inflation is sitting at 10%. It's the exact same story here for GDP. However, even though I think it is a skewed statistic, and I think it is wrong the way that it is put forth as if this is a good thing, really, if we want to see good GDP, I would want to see 10% this quarter year over year, because that would be beating what we're looking at reported CPI. Nevertheless, it is a bullish metric, and it will hopefully help the Federal Reserve start to feel a little bit more dovish, because even though there is the fact of what I just said, that GDP growth and inflation have a very closely knit relationship, policymakers, lawmakers, financial regulators don't really look at that. They look at the number on the surface level. They do look below the surface as well, but a lot of times they actually are using those surface level numbers to make their decisions. So ultimately, that is a good thing. Just want to give you that as kind of a snapshot of the market. And then we're going to jump into some talk about Elon Musk, then some technical analysis here, because those three numbers, GDP growth, CPI, effective federal funds rate, all three of them are very important. All three of them are not where they need to be. None of them are extremely bullish, albeit GDP is improving, so that's a good step in the right direction. And also, don't forget, I believe it was either yesterday or the day before, may have been the day before, that Canada came out with a 0.5% basis point rate hike on their national currency. The last one was 0.75. The one before that was 1%, a full 1%, 100 basis point rate hike. So Canada is starting to slow down on that front, and hopefully the United States will be relatively soon. The fact that both of our nations have a border with each other actually does bring quite a lot of valuation to that, quite a lot of importance, maybe I should say, to that pairing. So let's go ahead and talk about Elon Musk here. But first, we're going to look at chat for a second. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate all of you for joining us today. If you are new here, consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to hit the post notification bell so you'll be updated every single time we go live. And also make sure to hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 300 likes here in the next little while. Let's see. Market Zero says blame Canada. Canada, Canada, Canada. Let's see. Mike Henderson said, so by Jebb's metric, the U.S. economy hasn't grown in 40 years. Well, kinda. It's not that it hasn't grown, it's that it's evolved. And I'm not saying that it hasn't grown. The point is that GDP growth is overinflated, because you have to take a look at the underlying currency that the GDP growth is measured against. Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen our economies grow as much as we think we have. We've seen them, it's a little bit of a weird thing, we've seen them expand where there's more people and there's more higher end technology. But if you actually look at the value of a lot of consumer goods like beef, corn and you measure it against something that's much more immobile, like gold, which gold also inflates 1 or 2% a year. So you got to be careful with that. A lot of these things have not really changed their prices all that much in a very, very long time. If anything, they've gotten a little bit more expensive. Let's see here. We've got some other green names in chat. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. We saw Queen Finsoft Sarah. Finsoft Sarah is sitting just behind camera working on some of the customer service that you guys are sending us. Mitch Shaw said, howdy at Matt C. Hello, Mitch Shaw, and hello to Matt C. Shout out to Matt C. And also, let's see if Shannon Sharp is in chat this morning. Shout out to our moderators for keeping everything clean and moving effectively. And appreciate you guys for tuning in. As you can see in the title, some big news just took place. Some big news. And we're going to jump into it right now. We're going to read through this article, this post that Elon Musk just gave us, and we're going to see how the man that founded PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX, 3 blue chip massive companies worth billions of dollars each, is planning to change the platform that you all know and love or hate. You know, it's a very polarizing platform called Twitter. Let's go ahead and take a look at his post. Over on Twitter, funny, Elon Musk said this, Chief Twit. He's changed his Twitter bio to Chief Twit. So I'm assuming that means that is his official title. If you guys don't remember, not too long ago, he actually named himself, what was it? Chief Idiot or Chief Twit or something over Tesla. I think it was either Tesla or SpaceX. It might have been SpaceX. And then he named the CFO of whichever one of the 2 companies he had, Master of Coin. So that's what Elon Musk is, a very charming guy. And the reason I say that is because people are so tired of this suit and tie, take myself so seriously, I have no fun, I live a boring life, oh, I'm professional aspect. Look, I'm all about professionalism. I'm all about timeliness. I'm all about, maintaining commitments. I'm all about that. But you got to have some fun. And people have forgotten that. Where's the fun in business nowadays? It's moving in a good direction. A lot of it has to do with Elon Musk. It's not, you can have a joke. It's okay to have fun. Even in the public light. Elon Musk founded the idea of the celebrity CEO. He is the epitome of it, and he is probably one of the most influential people on our time. And if you didn't know, he's worth over $200 billion. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This was posted 19 hours ago. I saw this last night. This is hilarious. There's no other way to put it. So he walks in to Twitter. You'll have to go and check the actual video on Twitter for the sound. He walks into Twitter headquarters carrying a bathroom sink, like a vanity, with just this giant smile on his face. Look at this dude. And then he just posts the Twitter, entering Twitter HQ. Let that sink in. And then he also said, meeting a lot of cool people at Twitter today. And then he said before that, a beautiful thing about Twitter is how it empowers citizen journalism. I absolutely agree with that. People are able to disseminate news without an establishment bias. Of course, there are some free speech concerns, but he's about to address those right up here. Now, I also saw an article. I think I closed the article, but no, it's over here, actually. Let's read this, and then we'll read through his actual post to advertisers. Not only did Elon Musk update his Twitter bio to Chief Twit, he filmed himself carrying a sink into Twitter's headquarters. Where is what I was trying to see here? Basically, somewhere in this article, I forgot where it was, but somewhere in this article, here we go. But what comes next is still uncertain. If his deal closes, as it's looking like at this point, Musk could be planning to lay off 75% of Twitter staff. We talked about this a couple streams ago. He talked about laying off like 4,500, 5,500 of the staff. He's reportedly spoken to prospective investors about reducing the company's headcount to 2,000 workers from its current 7,500. And I thought it said it in here, but essentially when he walked into Twitter headquarters, he got absolutely mobbed by all of the different people that work for Twitter saying, who are you going to fire? Like, who are you going to lay off? What are these layoffs going to look like? How is this all going to go down? And a lot of people obviously very scared of losing their jobs at Twitter, especially some of these people that have been working there for a very long time. He tweeted about that a while ago. He said something to the effect of anybody who's actually pulling their weight doesn't have anything to worry about, something like that. But nevertheless, let's read this. He said, Dear Twitter advertisers. I'm going to read through all of this. It won't take too long. You need to hear this. This is, as I said in the description, day 1, hour 0. I guess it's hour 1 now. Hour 1 and 9 minutes, because that is how long ago this post came out, of the new era of social media. And you think I'm being dramatic in that. Do you know what this guy did to the auto market? He put everybody on notice. Everybody thought he was crazy. I remember when it was Obama and McCain running in 2012. McCain got on stage and he was laughing at Tesla. You're going to take on all these auto manufacturers. Took on Toyota, Ford, Chrysler, GM, Dodge, Buick, Cadillac, Mercedes, all of them. Took on all of them. Gave them a run for their money. One of the most valuable companies in the entire world right now. We hadn't been to space. We had barely pushed the bounds of space in 40 years. And he founds a company, and with one rocket launch, it all could have gone bad. If you go look at that story, he had 3 chances. Both of the first 2 rockets crashed and burned. Literally. Like, we're talking literally, they crashed and burned. The third one, it succeeded, and then he got a contract with NASA. Now SpaceX is taking over space. You want to know what this guy's going to do to social media? I don't know, but he's going to tell you here in this post. But it's going to be huge. And as he says in this, it's possible it could fail. There are a lot of people posting articles like, is this Elon Musk's white whale? Is this his Moby Dick? Is this going to be the end of him? Has he gone too far? Has he lost his edge? Is this the end? We'll find out. I think that he's going to be able to pull this off. And I think it's going to be really great, especially considering Twitter has struggled to make a profit for a very long time. Just about anything would be an improvement. I wanted to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. There's been much speculation about why I bought Twitter and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong. The reason I acquired Twitter, this is Elon Musk talking, is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. There is currently great danger that social media will splinter into far right-wing and far left-wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. Let's just go ahead and pause real quick right there. Charles Hoskinson, he's someone we've interviewed on this channel. He is the founder of Cardano. He's talked about this a lot. You have so many people on the left and on the right, you call it the liberal, the conservative, whatever you want to call it, on 2 sides of the aisle that have 2 massively polarized views. And what ends up happening is that everybody gets so angry that they resort to violence, or they resort to all kinds of manner of things that are not becoming of a civilized society that exists in continuum. You can end up destroying a society if you have that much internal strife. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. That's what Jesus said. And it's true. And it's unfortunate that in the West, most of our houses are very divided. And in other parts of the world, where the houses are, and by houses I mean nations and societies, where they are unified, they're normally unified under dictators or despots. That's actually the state of our modern world right now, is that most of the free world is extremely divided amongst itself. And that's sad. And it's not wrong for there to be healthy debate and healthy conflict. That's part of a functioning modern democracy, even an ancient democracy. But when it turns into reviling and violence is when it becomes a huge problem. And social media and mainstream media has played a huge role in broadening that gap. And Elon Musk makes a great point in wanting to fix that, because if he can do something about that, that would change human civilization as we know it for as long as that maintains as a town square, as he's talking about. It's a bold statement, but you can't argue that it is one of the biggest problems of our time. And that's what Elon Musk has done for a long time. He's tried to take on one of the biggest problems of our time as he sees it. He sees climate change as one of the biggest problems of our time. He wants to take on that. He sees being a single planetary species as being one of the biggest problems of our time. He wants to take on that. He saw antiquated financial systems being a huge problem 15 years before Bitcoin was created. He tried to take on that. You can say what you want about all 3 of those companies, but he tried to take on a huge societal problem and built a multi-billion-dollar company out of it, and he's successful 3 times in a row. Every single time he should have gone bankrupt, but he didn't. Something about this guy just breeds success. Whether you agree with him and his politics or not, you can't deny his track record. And you also can't deny, whether you're on the left or the right, that the problem he's pointing out is very, very real. Moving on here. In the relentless pursuit of clicks, much of traditional media has fueled and catered to those polarized extremes as they believe that is what brings in the money. But in doing so, the opportunity for dialogue is unfortunately lost. And he's so right. He hits the nail on the head right there. That is why I bought Twitter. I didn't do it because it would be easy. I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to try and help humanity, whom I love. And I do so with humility, recognizing that failure in pursuing this goal, despite our best efforts, is a very real possibility. That said, Twitter obviously cannot become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. In addition to adhering to the laws of the land, our platform must be warm and welcoming to all, where you can choose your desired experience according to your preferences, just as you can choose, for example, to see movies or play video games, ranging from all ages to mature in their rating, of course. I also very much believe that advertising, when done right, can delight, entertain, and inform you. It can show you a service or product or medical treatment that you never knew existed but is right for you. For this to be true, it is essential to show Twitter users advertising that is as relevant as possible to their needs. Low relevancy ads are spam, but highly relevant ads are actually content. Fundamentally, Twitter aspires to be the most respected advertising platform in the world that strengthens your brand and grows your enterprise. To everyone who has partnered with us, I thank you. Let us build something extraordinary together. And he's really got a point there on advertising. How many people actually really enjoy Super Bowl commercials? I think they're almost always hilarious. There are a lot of people, myself included, that'll watch the Super Bowl commercials, and I don't watch the Super Bowl. I don't care too much about professional football. College football I'm more interested in. I don't care too much about professional football. Every single year, I watch the Super Bowl ads because they're interesting, they're entertaining. And yeah, I know full well that they're trying to sell me something, but there's just something hilarious about two guys making puns about a can of beer. I don't even drink beer, and they're just making jokes about it. That it's funny, okay? You got your Progressive commercials out here. You got your Geico commercials out here. You got Peter McKinnon promoting Squarespace. Drop a 1 in chat if you get that reference. Advertising can actually be pretty funny. And it can actually be pretty interesting. And it can be helpful. There are things that I have bought because I saw an ad before, and I'm glad I saw it. Advertising is not the enemy. Advertising a lot of times can turn into that because we have bad practices. But if he thinks he can do something about this, and that's a big challenge. Like, that's a big deal. That is hard. That's a hard problem that he just took on. But so is taking on a $500 billion auto manufacturing industry and winning. With a new internal combustion, with a new drive model, rather than the internal combustion engine, you're switching over to electric. That's a hard problem. Probably harder than what he's talking about here with Twitter, to be quite honest with you, especially considering Twitter has barely ever been profitable in the first place, so he already has to worry about the money anyway. And it's already managed to sustain itself anyway. And if he did lay off 5,500 employees and he was able to keep Twitter running, that would bring the headcount and the payroll down so much that he would probably end up having a lot of money to play with at Twitter without having to put new investment in it. Also, and by the way, just keep in mind what happened with Tesla. When Tesla's PE ratio is in the trash, like it's not in the trash, it's the opposite. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculously high, way higher than it should be, indicating it's overbought. But people keep buying Tesla stock because Elon Musk is at the helm. Because Elon Musk is there, people buy it because they think it's funny. How many people just bought Dogecoin? And we watched Dogecoin rally 34% because their master, Elon Musk, just did something on Twitter. You think the same thing's not going to happen to Twitter stock after he takes this over and then does something funny on the platform? Like, hey, look, you click this button and Christmas music starts playing. Of course it's going to rally. There's so many people in that camp that will play that game. So as the future here, what does this look like for society? And what does this look like for Twitter? And for Elon Musk? And for Bitcoin? Well, first of all, if he's able to actually do what he's saying he's going to do here, it'd be huge. He could turn Twitter into the largest social media platform in the world. Right now, it's hard to argue that that's anything other than YouTube. But I think he could make Twitter rival YouTube. I really think he could. Because I love YouTube. I've been a YouTuber for 8 years. This channel's almost 5. It turns 5 in like 2 weeks. But the thing about YouTube is that it's really built towards longer form content. And nowadays, everybody wants to do stuff on our phones and have much shorter form content. That's how Twitter took off in the first place. You had 160 characters, whatever it is. You had 140 characters, and it was this bite-sized information. It was the perfect engine for memetics. And then they doubled it to 280 is what it is now. But the fact of the matter is, Twitter is positioned and has experience with positioning itself in such a way that you could see a massive amount of short-form, quick, pithy political dialogue content happening on this platform. If you could get all of the political debates running on Twitter, both in between individuals and between the actual parties themselves, That's a big market. And you see Twitter go to a lot more than $44 billion in valuation because it's catering to the needs of what the political landscape needs nowadays and what the needs of different communities, like the gaming community, I won't say the Twitter community, the gaming community, the crypto community, the racing community, the boxing community, name a community, build Twitter around that in a way that it's become so ingrained. The old guard at Twitter just has a system that works, and they don't want to shake the boat too much, and that's when a company dies, a slow heat death over the course of a decade as some new competitor comes along willing to completely throw out the old model and build a new one. Look at TikTok. Look at what TikTok's doing to Facebook. They're shredding Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that. If you see Elon Musk come into Twitter and allow Twitter to shred what used to be Twitter and then build something completely new for this decade, Twitter could be a $200 billion, $300 billion company in 5 years. I'm not going to lie. It could. Give it a month or two, see how the first little bit of this goes. Twitter stock might be a great stock to buy. It really might be. I'm not a stock guy. I'm a crypto guy. But just to be honest with you, that could be an incredible stock to purchase. And also, as far as its impact on Bitcoin, you think this isn't going to have a big impact on Bitcoin? You're wrong. You know, Elon Musk loves Bitcoin. His first venture, PayPal, which was originally X.com and then it merged into PayPal, he founded that and took off with PayPal and everything because he wanted to change financial services. PayPal since adopted Bitcoin. Elon Musk bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin with Tesla. Now he's scaled back on that, but he loves Dogecoin, which is a cryptocurrency, and he also loves Bitcoin. Whether he wants to admit it or not, he does. And it makes sense. We've talked about on this channel. He has an ideological connection and alignment with cryptocurrency. Him taking over Twitter almost certainly means in the next year or two that you're going to see Bitcoin enabled on the platform, which was kind of already in the works anyway. We were already starting to see glimmers of hope in that direction. Talk about the idea of creators being able to be tipped and paid in Bitcoin as just not you have an address in your bio, but there's an actual wallet functionality where you can deposit or even buy Bitcoin on Twitter and then tip your favorite content creators. That's just one idea. That would not be that hard to implement for somebody like Elon Musk. Wouldn't be at all. The kind of thing that Twitter could do in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ecosystem could absolutely crazy. He wants to build the everything app, remember? He doesn't just want to build another social media platform. He wants to build the everything app. Well, to build the everything app, you need a lot of different functionalities, more so than just posting tweets. You also need e-commerce. What's the next generation of e-commerce? It's crypto. This dude is going to revolutionize social media, cryptocurrency, and everything else all at once if this succeeds. If it fails, it's going to be one of the biggest failures since, late February of this year when the conflict started, egg on Putin's face. But nevertheless, hopefully Elon Musk will be successful in this endeavor. And look, I know Elon Musk is a polarizing figure. He's probably one of the most polarizing figures in modern politics and modern media. But that doesn't mean he's not smart. And that doesn't mean that he's not powerful. And that doesn't mean he's not rich. And that doesn't mean he's not a visionary, because he is all of those things, and you can't deny that. I'm really excited to see what this is going to look like. I'd love to hear your thoughts in chat. Let's just take a minute here, read chat. We got 2,000 people watching. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, my name is Jebb. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto. This is our morning show where we go live 10 a.m. Eastern every single weekday, bringing you the latest in cryptocurrency, technical, on-chain, and fundamental analysis. And we also talk about the broader financial, political, geopolitical markets so that we can make sure we have an all-encompassing view of what's going on in the world so that we can help you to achieve something that I call financial sovereignty. Essentially what financial sovereignty is, basically, it's the mission of this channel. I want you guys to have something called financial sovereignty. But what is financial sovereignty? Well, I'll tell you very quickly. We live in a world right now, we live in a society, as George Costanza would put it, we live in a society where our finances have control over us. My goal with financial sovereignty is to help you have control of your finances. Very simple idea, hard to implement. How do we do that? Well, first, we have to adopt a cryptocurrency as one of our major investment and monetary tools, because the traditional banking systems and the traditional financial systems around the world take power out of your hands and put it in the Federal Reserve. They put it in the hands of the U.S. federal government. They put it in the European Central Bank. They put it in the World Economic Forum. They put it in the banking system, in CBDCs. They put it in China. They put it in all these different places rather than in your hands. I want you to have control over over your currency and the way that it operates. And you can do that by choosing what currency that you want to invest in the cryptocurrency world. The next thing that we have to understand is how to invest, how to trade, how to look at markets, how to time markets, how to be in the markets for a long time, how to make sure that we are growing our wealth in these markets. And then last but not least, of course, we have to know how to preserve that wealth. And we do that through things like, well, making sure that we have strong custody over our cryptocurrencies, making sure that we have good budgets, making sure that we understand personal finances, making sure that we are not necessarily getting super rich, although if you follow a lot of what we talk about with financial sovereignty, you will become very wealthy. I can't promise that, but if you follow it, you will be doing better off. But not necessarily to become super wealthy, but to have control over your finances so that you can have control over one of the most important aspects of your life in modern America and in the modern world, which is the financial aspect of things, so that your finances can get out of your way and you can go on living your life the way that you're called to. Anyway, let's go ahead and read some chat here. We have a super chat. Let me make sure that there wasn't another super chat I missed. Nope, looks like that's the only one. So thank you very much, Dr. Fuzzy Eyeball, for your super chat. Let's go ahead and read that. What do you think the odds are Elon will use Doge as the primary Twitter currency? That's a great question. And frankly, I think it's decent. I could see him doing that because he has enough sway over Dogecoin. And this is a concern, actually. This isn't necessarily a good thing. He has enough sway over Dogecoin that he could theoretically pretty much turn Dogecoin into whatever he wanted. And that's kind of scary, to be honest, because I mean, Dogecoin, let's just look at CoinMarketCap. Let me pull up CoinMarketCap. I lost CoinMarketCap. Here we go. If we look at CoinMarketCap, you can see right here, Dogecoin's worth $10 billion. The dude just bought Twitter for $44 billion. You think he can't buy enough Dogecoin to have control over literally have control over the cryptocurrency, change it however he wants, and then resell it and disseminate it, distribute it so that it can be a currency again? It'd be hard, but he could do it if he wanted to. He's already got enough influence over there with some of the developers and some of the high-ranking people in the Dogecoin community that it's possible that he could do just about whatever he wanted over there. Dogecoin is not Bitcoin. Dogecoin's whatever. Cool. Dogecoin's great, I guess. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not an investor in it. It doesn't have anything fundamentally giving it value to the broader world. That being said, the thing that it does bring to the table is that it has the backing of Elon Musk. And it does have something very fundamentally attractive to Mr. Musk himself, and that is that it's small enough that he can have influence over it. So to him specifically, Elon Musk specifically, there actually is a lot of value in befriending the Dogecoin community because the Dogecoin community already loves him, and he can have a lot of sway over that. All right, let's go ahead and read a little bit of chat. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I was told, we were at a Chinese restaurant the other day, and I told somebody, appreciate you. And they said, that's from Utah. Are you from Utah? That's what they say in Utah. I said, no, I'm not from Utah. Are you from Utah? He said, no, I'm from Texas. And I said, okay, well, that's weird. But anyway, apparently that's a Utah thing. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. SPY massive breakout IMO. Yeah, potentially. I could see SPY breaking out on this news. It's already moving to the upside, sitting at 384. Let's see. Going to read chat here for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to dive into some technical analysis because Bitcoin is still moving. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Going to read some chat. Anthony makes a very good point. He didn't just take on the auto industry. He also took on the oil industry at the same time. That's true. Elon bought Tesla. He did not found it. Yeah, but it wasn't anything before he came around. Fair enough, but yeah, that's kind of a technical term on that. Let's see here. Let's just keep going for just a little bit. Stock is being delisted. Is that a piece of news that just came out? Twitter stock delisted. Whoa. Wait, is this actually happening? I mean, that is actually a good point. I apologize. I said something earlier that wasn't totally accurate, and I wasn't thinking. Well, I was thinking, but I forgot this. He's taking it private. So people aren't going to be investing in Twitter because if it's taken private, then they won't be able to. You might have some VCs behind the scenes investing in it, but if he's taking it private, then it's not going to send the stock price soaring because it won't have a stock price. But yeah, let's see. Anyway, I will get back to you on that. But yeah, it looks like that there could be as much of there could be a delisting of Twitter as soon as Friday. Shareholders who own stock at the time of going private earn cash for their positions, and the rate is agreed upon. Yeah, they get cash at $54.20 per share. Got another super chat here, and then we're going to keep going on. Eric Wallen said, Core Scientific just took a nosedive. Could this be our next leg down incoming? I had some Coors stock. I'm not familiar with it, so I couldn't tell you on that one, but thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Good deal. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin, though, because as you can probably imagine, Bitcoin, which has been bought by Tesla before, which is obviously run by Elon Musk, he's the CEO over there, has been doing pretty well over the last couple of days. We had a pretty major breakout where Bitcoin moved to the upside, and a lot of that had to do with a massive short squeeze. We talked about that yesterday. That massive short squeeze was almost $750 million of shorts getting liquidated over on FTX. And by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried, you just got kind of lucky on that one, because this news of Elon Musk buying Twitter just kind of overshadowed that. Nobody's talking about FTX right now. However, I'm still curious, and I'd love for you guys to tell me why the vast majority of those short liquidations took place on FTX. That would be something interesting to find out. Could that have been a market manipulation to get the movement, to get the market to move to the upside? Potentially. I don't have any evidence of that, but it's just a little bit of a tinfoil hat conspiracy, if you will. I'm not saying they did that. I'm just curious, because it is a little bit surprising that the vast majority of those short liquidations took place on one exchange. But nevertheless, after that occurred, Bitcoin did break to the upside, moving against all technical reasoning. And it has now broken over the last little bit this level of resistance that we had seen here at $20,465, and it is now basically going to have to move up to 22.5. Let's go ahead and talk about Chart Prime here, guys. If you're not familiar with Chart Prime, they are a sponsor of this channel, and we're very appreciative for their support. You can see the Chart Prime oscillator down here has gone ahead and moved to the upside in a pretty major way, and that is something that we need to keep in mind, because if you look at this movement, you can see Chart Prime has pushed all the way up here to where it has formed a green square. That green square oftentimes means that the market is overbought. And sometimes if it gets really far up there, you'll even see OB where it says OB. You can see it right here. And then when the market gets really low, sometimes it will say OS, meaning oversold. You can see there was an oversold signal here. Then we saw an overbought signal here, oversold signal here. And you can even see Chart Prime pushing to the upside right here, and then there being a nice little green dot right here that indicates that we may be moving a little bit too far. This could indicate that we need to see a little bit of a pullback in the next little while. We did just take our first leg up here. Would not be surprising at all if Bitcoin traded sideways here for a little bit. By the way, going to go ahead and read some super chats so I don't miss them. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be kept up to date on all current content. Thank you so very much. We've got 2,200 people watching. Go ahead and hit that like button. We only have 312 likes. Hang on a second. We got to talk about this, guys. There are 2,200 people watching, and you mean to tell me there's only 316 likes? Let's get to 750 likes here in the next 2 minutes. We can definitely do that. I Trust is legit ad dad. Tom Crown said, yeah, guys, if you don't know, I Trust Capital is phenomenal, and the link is down below. But nevertheless, we're going to keep going here. Make sure to hit that like button. But Bitcoin moving to the upside here is pretty... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to read super chats. Let's go ahead and do that first. Opus number 1 donated, said, understand not financial advice, but Cosmos offers double-digit staking rewards. However, can they sustain it? And what rewards should a person... what reward number should a person... TY. Well... The thing is, whatever's sustainable has to do, it comes right down to how they're getting the reward in the first place. You'd have to go and look at that. I'm not an expert in the way that Cosmos generates their staking reward, so you'd have to look at that. If they can actually generate 15% APY and they've got a really good explanation for how they're doing that, then go right ahead. But if they're invested in Terra, then maybe don't use that as your reasoning. You do have to be really careful with the staking. Staking is not a bad thing on a cryptocurrency that you really trust and that you want to be invested in the long term. I typically wouldn't invest in a cryptocurrency for its staking rewards. I would typically invest in a cryptocurrency for its fundamentals, and if it has a staking reward, then great. You can utilize that to generate some extra income on top, but just be careful about that as being your primary reason for jumping into it, because that's how a lot of people want to sell it to you. Ad Dad said, oh, hang on. It's jumping around on me. Here we go. Dad said, thanks, Jeff, for all your hard work and now returning. Would you talk about iTrust Capital, about how this platform is safe given all issues in crypto? Yeah, iTrust Capital is a wonderful platform. If you sign up, you actually get a $100 funding bonus. Links in the description box down below. It helps you move your IRA and your Roth IRAs and your retirement accounts over to cryptocurrency so that you can invest in crypto with your IRAs, making sure you're utilizing all of those benefits. So thank you very much for that. Eric Wallen just said, Core Scientific is the world's largest Bitcoin miner going insolvent. I will look into that. That is really, really bad if that's the case. OMAC is a member for 13 months as a Jebbi Padawan. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Said, welcome back, my friend. I miss seeing you. I hope and pray for you and your wife during the pregnancy. Everything will be well. Thank you, OMAC. Really appreciate that. Really, really do. Let's see. That was the same one twice. Okay, so that is all of our super chats at the moment. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to smash that like button if you have not already. And again, if you are new here, I am trying to help you become financially independent and financially sovereign so that you are not held under the thumb of cryptocurrencies. Excuse me, not under cryptocurrencies, under the thumb of financial institutions that don't have your best interest at heart. I like the video when Jebb says he likes Doge. Well, I guess we're not getting a like from that guy. Sorry, Tatted Grizzly. Appreciate you tuning in, but you're not going to hear me say that. I like Doge the meme. There we go. I like Doge. It's a funny meme. I think it's a hilarious meme. There you go. I said it. Now you got to like the button, like the video, because that's what you said. Anyway, moving on here. Sarah thought that was funny. She's over there laughing. Sarah's my wife, for anybody who's tuning in. She's behind the camera right now. Anyway, let's take a look at what Chart Prime's saying about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. One of the big things I love about Chart Prime, and definitely make sure to check it out with the link down below, you can see that there is a very strong negative correlation with the Dixie right now, in that Dixie, being the DXY, is starting to move to the downside. The Dixie's been dropping quite substantially here, and in that time, Bitcoin has actually managed to move to the upside. And in fact, Market Oracle is going to come up here and show a couple of trend lines here that are pretty helpful on Chart Prime. If you guys don't know about Chart Prime, you need to get Chart Prime. Take a look at this. It just drew all these trend lines. I didn't draw any of these. Yesterday, it actually had a trend line right here showing that Dixie had broken bearish out of this symmetrical triangle pattern. Now it kind of looks like an ascending triangle pattern, but that downtrend was there. If we look at Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin's moving to the upside as Dixie goes down. You can also see a correlation over here. Very strong positive correlation with the S&P 500. Very strong positive correlation with NASDAQ and DJI. Really appreciate that functionality of Chart Prime. Check it out with the link down below. But nevertheless, we can also see over here on Luxalgo, which is another great technical indicator, that we have a buy signal. Whoa, right? I mean, everybody that uses Luxalgo is out here saying, gee whiz, Spider-Man, Bitcoin just had a buy signal. Yay. Well, if you know the history of Bitcoin, you'll know that whenever Bitcoin flashes a buy signal, let's just use the daily chart. Whenever Bitcoin flashes a buy signal, it's a big deal. Like, it's a very big deal. And remember, guys, don't forget, Chart Prime's a sponsor of the channel. You can find their link down below. But also, I love Luxalgo. Both of them are great indicators here. We can see that on the daily chart for Bitcoin, every time that we've seen a buy signal come into play, we've seen the market move in a massive way. You can see buy signals coming in at the bottom of all of these markets. Even right here, we saw a buy signal. It was a little bit, we did see a little bit of movement before that actually turned into a sell signal. You can see you did have a little bit of time to jump into this one. But if we just go back and look at the majority of the buy signals that Bitcoin has seen on Luxalgo, you end up seeing this massive run. You can see here, here. And if you look on different time frames, you're going to see it all over the place. You got like an 80 or 90% win rate when you see a confirmed buy signal on Luxalgo. And depending on what chart you're on, it definitely depends on what chart you're on. Coinbase, we're seeing the buy signal. Over here on Bitfinex, we have not yet. Over here on Bitstamp, we have. So you can see it's just down to the wire that we're seeing this buy signal. But there actually is a buy signal here. Now remember, keep in mind, one of the things that we do with buy signals is we wait for confirmation. We don't just say, okay, buy signal, boom, jump into the market. No, not necessarily. We wait for confirmation with something called the trend catcher. You can see that trend catcher is right here. This trend catcher right here is very, very important, because when we see a buy signal, we want to wait for that buy signal to be confirmed with trend catcher moving to the upside. You can see down here on the 4-hourly chart, we saw a buy signal right here, but we didn't actually catch the movement to the upside until the trend catcher turned green. You can see that is this movement right here. And if you look in Luxalgo, you can see that the trend catcher is right here in the indicator overlay. That is a pretty substantial movement that we saw take place, and the buy signal here on Lux Algo caught it pretty great in a pretty great way. But for Bitcoin to continue moving to the upside, it's going to need to have more than what it just has right now. Bitcoin's going to need to move further than the little bit of movement that it's done now. Now, the good news is not just Bitcoin moving. We also have a buy signal over here on Ethereum. Ethereum, as you can see, has a buy signal. And then we also have it being massively far above the trend catcher on the daily chart. That's not the same thing as over here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still below the trend catcher because it never dove down to catch up with Bitcoin. But over here on Ethereum, the trend catcher is way down here, which means that if Ethereum were to jump up to $1,700, which would be my next big level of resistance I'd be looking at, then it probably would see green trend catcher, and we would have some positive movement there. So just remember, both of that indicator, the buy signal on Lux Algo, has a stupidly strong correlation with markets. If you see a confirmed buy signal, it's about 80-90% likelihood the market's going to move in that direction in a pretty big way, not just in a small way, but I'm talking a pretty big way, because Lux Algo does a great job of weeding out its bad signals. And is what it's going to do is it's going to help that. It's going to confirm that movement is coming, and you're going to be able to trade that if you're a trader. And if you're an investor and you're not real interested in what Bitcoin's going to do over the next week, but you're more interested in what it's going to do over the next 5 years, well, you want to find the best places to buy. And if we just saw a confirmed buy signal showing up on the daily chart, and then on the 2-day, then the 3-day, then the weekly chart on Bitcoin, then you can believe that the bottom probably is in and we might be starting a bull market. I'm not saying we are yet, because those signals have not flashed. But if they do, it's going to be very valuable information for you. So just keep in mind, there's a lot going on in the geopolitical landscape right now. There's a lot that's bearish. I mean, we still have a conflict in Eastern Europe, the largest that we've seen in 70 plus years. We still have a looming energy crisis in Europe. We still have a food crisis in sub-Saharan Africa, in Northern Africa, in the Middle East, in many parts of the world, like Asia Minor. We still have, we have the midterm elections coming up in a week and a half. We have looming effective federal funds rate at 75 basis points again. We have CPI data coming out on November the 10th. We have GDP just came out, but it still needs to be confirmed. There's a lot going on. We have a new prime minister in the United Kingdom. There's a lot going on globally right now, and I need you to understand that it's not as simple as, Elon Musk just bought Twitter, Bitcoin's going to moonshot. Although, to be honest, I do think there will be a correlation between Twitter doing well and Bitcoin doing well, because the same kind of people that will get excited about Twitter turning into what Elon Musk wants it to turn into are the same kind of lunatics that will get into Bitcoin, just like you and me. Am I right? I think I am. Tell me in chat if you are one of them and you are loving Bitcoin and crypto. And I really want to hear your chat. About what about what you think about Twitter being bought by Elon Musk. What do you think about that? And guys, by the way, while you're giving me some answers to that, just want to give you a bit of an update. We're going to be interviewing Kevin O'Leary here on the channel this coming Tuesday. Going to be getting Mr. Wonderful on the channel. We're going to be interviewing him. Going to be a great interview. We should be seeing that interview come to the channel in the next couple of weeks. And we're also working on an interview with none other than Kathy Wood. My team just got in contact with her and her team, so we're looking forward to being able to interview Kathy Wood and potentially even another member of the ARK Invest team to get some inside information on pretty much what they think about the crypto markets. Really excited for some of those big interviews. If you're interested in some other high-profile interviews, we've also interviewed Charles Hoskinson on the channel. You can go back and watch that. We interviewed Michael Saylor on the channel. You can go back and watch that. And I actually got to interview Kevin O'Leary in person at Bitcoin Miami 2022. You can find that interview on the channel as well. So make sure to go back and check out those interviews. Some great people that we got to speak with. Really awesome people, by the way. Michael Saylor, solid guy. I talked to him for this dude's a billionaire, and I got to spend like 20 or 30 minutes after the call just chatting with him because he enjoyed he enjoyed it so much. He loved our interview. Love to get Michael Saylor back again. Charles Hoskinson had a great time as well, and looking forward to having Kevin on the channel. Hashtag Kevin O'Leary. Let's see if I am missing any super chats. Cosmos is printing Cosmos to pay you. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm talking about, is I would need to look into exactly how they're generating that APY. I don't personally use Cosmos to generate staking rewards. By the way, shout out to Tom Crown in chat. Had a lot of fun getting lunch with you down in Miami earlier this year. Make sure to go check out his channel, guys. Let's see. Shadrach Frost, member for 15 months, just gave a super chat, said Romans 8:38 to 39. Let's read that one. Romans 8 is one of my favorite chapters of the New Testament. See, Romans 8, 38 and 39. For I am persuaded that neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen, Shadrach. Thank you for that. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Tatted Grizzly responded. He said, I smashed the like, Jebb. Let's freaking go. A lot of people in the stream today. Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Having a lot of fun. We're just going to kind of chat. If you guys don't know, typically the way we wrap out the streams here is we just talk to chat here for the last couple of minutes. If you're wondering why I'm looking off in this direction, that's because that's where the screen is. I will post a picture on Twitter of what this setup looks like right now. It's going to undergo a lot of work because we have pretty much I have a set piece being built right now that will be ready in the next little bit. Loving Bitcoin and crypto. Hopefully Elon will remove all the bots. It is riddled with them like cockroaches. Yeah, for real. That was one of the reasons he tried to back out of it, was because apparently Twitter lied to him about how many bots there were. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was the allegation. Eric Brubaker said, I'm super pro free speech, just not free disrespect. We need to communicate information, sometimes emotionally, but never disrespectfully. Agreed. Agreed. Looking forward to see how he innovates. I could see Twitter Spaces evolving into a creative way for content creators to monetize their platform. Excited to see what he does. Yeah, I could definitely see Twitter Spaces being a big part of that. Elon will enable Doge tips inside Twitter, potentially. I could see that. Get the whole Shark Tank crew in here. Yeah, I'd like to get Mark Cuban. I think we might end up being able to get him on the stream as well one day. Go tweet at Mark Cuban and tell him his friend Kevin O'Leary has somebody he needs to get interviewed. Thoughts on baby Aptos? Looking bullish as well. I'd have to look into that. I'm hearing a lot of sketchy things going on with Aptos right now, to be honest with you, though. Michael Norris said, what did you guys have for lunch? Well, it is 10:53 in the morning here, so we haven't had lunch, but we're going to go get Chipotle. I'm going to go get a bowl. Man, I love Chipotle. And yeah, Sarah's laughing at me because she's Puerto Rican, and she thinks she's looking at me. She thinks it's a travesty that I get a bowl instead of a burrito. She makes fun of me for being a white boy, but it's okay. Not actually, by the way. My wife's very nice. I don't want to accidentally paint her in the wrong light because I'm making a joke. TA people should talk about DCAing. New people are not traders. They're looking for long-term positions. I totally agree, and that's why you should check out Hedge. You can find I actually interviewed the co-founders of Hedge. That went up on the channel yesterday. Make sure to check out that video. They explain to you how to dollar cost average and how to actually make money in crypto. Everybody is giving you a ton of different ways to make money in crypto. Take 10% of your income, dollar cost average, and then wait 5 years. You will be wealthy in crypto. You just need to be patient. You can have a lot of patience and a little investment, and that's how you become successful. I started this channel with, let's see, I got $100 for Christmas. That's how I started this channel. I got $100 for Christmas. I bought a Blue Yeti microphone, and I made videos and made $0 for 8 months. And now I have, quite a bit of success in cryptocurrency. It's a blessing from the Lord. I'm not trying to, be prideful, but I'm just saying that I didn't have anything when I started this. I'm not Elon Musk over here and had $44 billion to buy a YouTube channel or something. No, I didn't. No, I started this with an investment of time because I didn't have money. So you might have one, you might have the other, you might have both, but the point is you got to invest in crypto, and one of the best ways to do it is dollar cost averaging. Going to go another 5 minutes. Oh, man, we got over 2,000 people watching today. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Shannon Sharp said, I used to love Chipotle, but like Boys to Men, it got old after so much. Invest in your education, Queen said. Absolutely. That's because you're supposed to get a bowl and make tacos out of it. Oh, yeah, I just eat it with a fork. I'm Sarah's looking at me like I'm embarrassing her. I just roll my leftover bowl into a burrito. That's true. Gata Life said, in 2021, I found God, crypto, and your channel. Well, all three of those things are good, but one of them is far better than all the others, and that would be the Lord. Thank you for, not thank you, but congratulations for finding God. Like I said, we got 4 minutes here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Prox said, donated $5, said, let's go. Your wife is Puerto Rican. My man, you have very good taste, Jebb. I do. I have the most beautiful woman in the world as my wife. I sure do. She's amazing. Jebby, what's your bag for 2023? Probably going to load up on a lot of Bitcoin, ETH, and ADA, to be honest with you. Chipotle is getting expensive. Yeah, it is. Everything's getting expensive. Probably because the US dollar is getting less valuable. White boy Jebb, Queen said. Someone say Miami. Yeah, Tom said Miami. Tom, I think, is going to be in Miami for a conference here next month. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to that. I think it's a Decentral conference or something. Good use of time and hard work. Michael Norris said, hit those likes. Yeah, guys, make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 1,000 likes before we wrap out the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Decentral, Art Basel, anybody? Yeah, there you go. Just want to say I love you, brother, and appreciate you and your thoughts on life and crypto. Thank you, Corey. We're going to go for another 3 minutes here, and we're going to wrap it out, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And tell us in chat what you think about Elon Musk acquiring Twitter. Absolutely crazy. Jebb, what huge fan. What is your Cardano long-term price prediction? $20 to $30 in the next 10 to 15 years. You think I'm crazy? Maybe I am, but I think it'll be worth that much, at least. I do think that. What about Gala? I need to get caught up on Gala, but when I used to follow it, I thought it was a wonderful project. Core Scientific could lose everything. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to look into that. That's a huge deal. That's a huge deal. Tom Crown said, so happy to have Jebb back. I'm happy to be back, Tom. I missed it. Is it confirmed already that Elon bought? Pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, just a rundown before we wrap out here. This is what we're looking at over on Twitter. And let me just update this because, I mean, this is minute-by-minute news that we're talking about here. He posted this, Dear Twitter advertisers, and in the beginning of the post, he says, I wanted to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. There has been much speculation about why I bought Twitter, past tense, and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong. So, and he also just changed his Twitter bio to Chief Twit, indicating that he has bought Twitter. And he also marched into Twitter. This is just, I mean, if you haven't seen this, this is just the most alpha businessman thing you could ever do in your life. Walked into a $44 billion company when you just acquired it in pretty much in cash. Now, he's got some VCs helping him out, I think, but walked into Twitter, and there's audio to this that you'll want to go listen to because it's pretty funny. Walked in carrying a sink and had some dude film it on a phone and just carrying a sink, said, let that sink in. This is not Apple, where we've got this really majestic, we've got this fancy camera work, and we've got, wow, look, the camera went through the wall, and wow, look, there's cool colors, and it's a new phone, check it out. No, he just had a dude, probably with an iPhone, just sitting there like you got the Goonies running a $40 billion company is basically what it is, but it's not the Goonies because he's ridiculously smart. He doesn't take himself too seriously. That's what I love. He's real. Now, a lot of people will argue with that and say, he's not real. He's so fake. Whether he is or not, that looks real to whoever watches that. That looks authentic. And that is the future of social media. Gary Vee's been talking about that for a decade, is authenticity is the future of social media. And that's what people want. People want to feel like, oh, wow, I'm actually talking to a real person. I'm not talking to just whoever. I'm talking to a real person. I'm actually getting to interact with a friend who's on the internet. That's what people want. People want to feel that friendship. And even though most people that follow Elon Musk have never met Elon Musk, a lot of people feel like he's a friend of mine because of how authentic he is and how many times he's making jokes on a massive scale. Really, really, really cool. Matt C said, gotta run, folks. Have a great day. Yeah, I do as well. We went for the hour as we normally do. Guys, make sure to tune in every single weekday because we're bringing you the latest in cryptocurrency. And by the way, guys, I want to remind you that we have a partner here with the Crypto Jebb channel that I don't want you to miss, and their name is none other than BitGet. BitGet has an incredible website over here where you can buy a cryptocurrency with cryptocurrency deposits. You can even do peer-to-peer trading with zero fees. You can even buy crypto with third-party payments, but it's not just that. They have their futures over here. You can trade USDT over M futures, USDC M futures, Coin M futures, so those are different coins. You got your futures grid trading with trading bots, so that's interesting. You got demo trading over here. You've also got your spot trading as usual. But then one of the things I love is their copy trading. You can come over here to BitGet, go down to copy trading, and you can see all of these different traders in here that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people following them and copy trading them, and they're making tons of money. And you can literally copy their trades and actually end up trading alongside them and making money with them. You can see their P&L right here. Copier's P&L sitting at 900 grand on this guy. 600 grand for this guy, 443 grand for this guy, 271,000, 577,000. It's like 1,000 people following each one of these traders. It's absolutely crazy, and people are making a lot of money over here because they are using BitGet. So make sure to sign up with the link in the description box down below to get $10 US for the first 100 users that sign up, and you will also be helping to support this channel while you continue to grow your future and presence in the cryptocurrency space as well. Guys, I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. Let's make sure I'm not missing any super chats before we go. But yes, guys, before we go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.